another committee hearing.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, and I want to thank my colleague, the ranking member of the committee, Representative Eshoo, for allowing me to go before her in making this statement. I want to thank you, Mr. Chairman, for agreeing to our request for a legislative hearing on H.J. Res. 37. It's a resolution of disapproval under the Congressional Review Act. Democrats on this subcommittee felt strongly that before we rush to consider this legislation, we would all benefit from hearing from companies, public interest groups, and economists. My concern is that there's an enormous disconnect between the facts and the majority's policy objectives. As we'll learn today, technology innovators oppose the disapproval resolution, consumers oppose the resolution, and economists oppose the resolution. Even broadband providers do not support the resolution. In a letter the committee received on Monday, the cable industry said it supports the FCC order because, and I quote, "It largely codifies the status quo which the industry has voluntarily committed. It contains helpful clarifying language around what constitutes reasonable network management. It provides greater certainty about our ability to manage and invest in our broadband services, and the alternative of Title II regulation presented a stark and much worse risk." We'll hear similar testimony from AT&T today. Yesterday, the Consumer Federation of America and Consumers Union released a poll showing the overwhelming public support for an open Internet. By a 2-to-1 margin, consumers opposed congressional action to block the FCC rule. But none of these facts seem to matter. The reason we are debating the disapproval resolution is that Republicans claim that FCC regulation will stifle the Internet and hurt our economy. But the fastest growing, most innovative companies in America, companies like Google, Amazon, Netflix, and others say exactly the opposite. They urge the FCC to adopt open Internet rules because, I quote, "Baseline rules are critical to ensuring that the Internet remains a key engine of economic growth, innovation, and global competitiveness." In fact, most of the Internet companies wanted stronger rules than those adopted by the FCC. I wanted to get independent advice, so our staff contacted economists at Stanford, NYU, USC, and other leading academic institutions. They told us that the FCC got the rules right. The phone and cable companies have near monopolies as providers of Internet access, especially wireless Internet access. Without sensible regulation, they could choke off innovation by charging Internet companies for the right to communicate with consumers. One of the costs of this misguided resolution is that it is distracting us from important telecommunications issues that we should be addressing, and we could do so on a bipartisan basis. We ought to be working together to grow our economy by freeing up spectrum. We should be working together to make our nation safer by building a broadband network for public safety, and we should be protecting taxpayers and consumers by enacting universal service reform. But we're doing none of these things. Instead, we're wasting time about a destructive resolution that should threaten openness and innovation on the Internet. I thank our witnesses for being here. I look forward to your testimony, and I want to yield the balance of my time.